Good morning. I'm Mark Kimball. And agenda item 1 is the call to order. It's 10 a.m. on February 19th, 2026, and I call this meeting of the Citizens Clean Elections Commission to order. With that, we will take attendance. Commissioners, please identify yourselves for the record.
Galen Payton.
Commissioner Werther
Christina Werther.
and Commissioner Crump.
Sam Crump.
I don't believe we have Commissioner Titler with us, but we have 4 members, which constitutes a quorum. Item 2, discussion possible action on meeting minutes for January 29th, 2026. Commissioners, you have our meeting minutes from the January 29th meeting in your packets. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the minutes for January 29th?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for last week or last month.
It's been moved that we approve the minutes for the January 29th meeting. Is there a second?
I second.
Seconded by Commissioner Werther. I will call the roll. Commissioner Werther,
Aye.
Commissioner Crump,
Aye.
Commissioner Payton.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The minutes are approved 4-0. Item 3, discussion possible action on the Executive Director's report. Tom?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I wanted to briefly at the beginning of this, as you know, in the report, we have a notation about some of our ongoing litigation that may not be have action associated with it. But this morning we got a ruling in the case which Montenegro v. Fontes, and Montenegro v. Fontes is a case about the legislature's challenge to Prop 211. So it's a challenge that says that Prop 211 violates separation of powers and non-delegation type rules, constitutional rules, by basically essentially imbuing the commission with too much power over that area. So the result there is that the court said that one portion of the act is unconstitutional, a portion of the act that purports to say, at least in the view of what we said in our papers, that the legislature's own agencies can't interfere with the commission's rulemaking process, right? So the legislature has the Leg Council and other kinds of administrative agencies. The phrase that's used in the act is legislative governmental body, and the court, like prior courts who've looked at this, concluded that that includes the legislature. You can't pass a law that prohibits the legislature from legislating, so therefore that portion is unconstitutional. But the remainder of the claims that the legislature brought on separation of powers and delegation were rejected. And in addition, that small portion of Prop 211 that was declared to be unconstitutional is severable, according to the court. So that's all a long way of saying that we've now had this case go, up fully to the state Supreme Court and come back down on remand. And the net result on the merits now, instead of just on the question of standing, is basically where we were coming out of the trial court, or coming out of the Court of Appeals in a year ago. So the lack of an injunction basically means that, at least in that case, Prop 211 continues to be enforced. And then we have still pending at the state Supreme Court the challenge to it by some groups and individuals arguing it violates their state constitutional free speech rights, and a challenge that's pending at the Ninth Circuit regarding the First Amendment. So I wanted to mention that up front. I think that's, from our perspective as staff members, it's not an unexpected result, but nevertheless, it means that we'll continue until these other shoes drop. For the time being, Prop 211 continues to be enforced. So I wanted to mention that up front. And obviously, Mr. Chair, if you would anyone to ask me questions about that specific thing, I'm happy to do that, or I've got the rest of the report, whatever you prefer.
Any questions from the commission specific to Tom's discussion? Okay, Tom.
Okay, thanks. So, getting back to the report, since we last met, the legislature did pass the bill to change the primary date to 2 weeks earlier than it had been. That moves the qualifying period up for clean candidates up 2 weeks. It moves the filing period for candidate up 2 weeks. We'll be, we're working on that, working on communicating that out. I think that at this point, candidates hopefully are pretty well aware of this. My own anecdotal experience is that they're learning about this on a rolling basis, depending upon the jurisdiction in which they're operating. As far as voter education outreach events, I think this first quarter of the year so far has been, I think, in my view, one of the most active we've had in terms of outreach in years. Avery was down in Sells for the Tohono O'odham rodeo. He'll be out in Lost Dutchman next weekend. And then he was at Captain Activate. We're at Youth Day at the Capitol. So we'll have debate production is underway, and the voter guide process is underway. We're going to have more different versions of the voter guide this year than we have ever had. And we're continuing to see candidate workshops. We've had 29 candidates attend those workshops. I think those are really the highlights I wanted to hit, commissioners. So if you have any questions for me, I'm happy to take them.
Do any commissioners have, excuse me, any questions for Tom on the executive director's report? Okay, thank you, Tom. Item 4, discussion possible action on probable cause MUR 25-03 Monica Timberlake. Item 4 is a discussion possible action on whether probable cause exists to believe violations occurred in MUR 25-03 involving Monica Timberlake, a 2024 legislative candidate. Commissioners, you have the executive director's report. We'll hear from the executive director and then hear from Ms. Timberlake or her representative if either of them are present. Tom?
Yes, Mr. Chair, just this morning we got a communication from Ms. Timberlake respecting she has a appointment today that it's a medical appointment that requires her to travel this morning, so she's not available. I have communicated to her, whether or not she'll be available next month. My sort of, I think my own sort of gut is that it would be, if there's a possibility that she could make it here, it might be better to save my presentation for when she is available and can provide some response to the commission. But I guess I don't have very strong feelings about that. But I think that may be the better course. I'm obviously we want to make sure that candidates have notice. We think in this case, I think it's pretty clear that the candidate has had lots of notice about lots of different things. That said, obviously it's up to you. But before I started, I wanted to, bring that up and leave. Like I say, my preference, but not a strong preference, would be maybe we move this to next month.
Commissioners, do you have a preference on this? Do you want to proceed? Do you want to put it off for a month?
I have a
Commissioner Payton?
comment. This is like almost 2 years ago. I think we should just get on with it.
Okay. Any other commissioners wish to make comments on this?
Mr. Chair, I would say, I mean, I guess I was kind of leaning towards what Tom just mentioned, right? I think if the notice has been provided, we can move forward. If we want to provide her with one more opportunity to show up next time, I mean, that's fine too. I don't really have a strong preference either way.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Werther. Tom?
one thing I will note is, regardless, we will have to come back at presumably at least one more time for either a penalty phase or a conciliation. So this won't be the last time you see the matter.
Commissioner Crump, do you have a position on this?
I kind of agree with Commissioner Payton. I feel like it's time to move forward with it.
Looks like Steve.
Chairman.
Commissioner Titla, yes,
Yeah,
the
thank
record
you.
shows that Commissioner Titla is attending.
Yeah, thank
Go
you.
ahead.
I got on earlier, and I didn't want to interrupt our esteemed director in his report. So now
Oh, man.
But anyway, thank you for the information, Director. In this case, I think that we need to provide some due process to the person, and if she's unable to attend today for some reason, I don't know why, I think we should give her another chance to come next month, and then if she can provide some response to the claim as noted by the executive director, then I'm inclined to follow that. I think that one of the fundamental aspects of charges or hearings or notices is that we should always try as much as possible to give the other party an opportunity to respond to anything that we have that goes forward. And after we have exhausted our notices and opportunities given to the other party, then I think that maybe at that point we can proceed to the charges as presented by the executive director. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Titla. I intend to agree with you, Commissioner Titla, although I do feel that we've been bending over backwards to make sure that she does have due process. I don't see any harm in putting it off for another month, since it's going to come back again anyway. I think we seem kind of evenly split on this. Commissioner Crump, Commissioner Payton want to move ahead. Commissioner Titla and I want to wait until next month. Commissioner Werther, I'm not totally clear on what your wishes are. You could go either way.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Chairman, to me, I mean, as long as we've provided all the notices, I think if the commission wanted to hear it today, I'd be comfortable doing that and moving forward. But again, if we want to wait another month, I also recognize that when someone comes back later and tries to, contest any type of recommendation or penalty, it's always helpful if we can show we were sort of above and beyond, right? That we did everything we could to let them have as much chance to respond as possible. So that's why, yeah, I'm pretty squarely in the middle. So sorry.
Well, that's not tremendously helpful, but thank you.
Well, I would just say, I mean, if it's that split, then I can wait. I mean, I don't want to be an impediment or anything. So we can, I can change my mind and just wait a month.
I think we ought to wait a month. Since it's a medical issue, I'm tended to give her the benefit of the doubt, even though I think we've given her the benefit of the doubt for many, many months, as Commissioner Payton has pointed out. But I don't see any harm in saying, okay, we'll give you one more month. You better show up. So we'll set aside item 4 for now and move on to item 5. Discussion possible action, Clean Elections Commission versus Fontes. Commissioners, this item concerns our ongoing litigation with the Secretary of State. As indicated in the agenda, the commission may vote to go into executive session to receive legal advice or consult with our attorneys. Before we do that, are there any questions from members of the commission that we want to deal with in open session? Hearing none, is there a motion to go into executive session on item number 5?
I
No.
move to go into executive session.
Okay, Commissioner Werther, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we go into executive session. I will call the roll. Commissioner Werther,
Aye.
Commissioner Crump,
Aye.
Commissioner Payton,
Aye.
Commissioner Titla.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. We're going to go into executive session. Thank you. I'm already sick of this lawsuit.
Well,
Okay, we're back in open session. We'll move on to item 6, discussion possible action on 2026 legislation. Item 6 is discussion and possible action on election and campaign finance legislation from the 2026 legislative session, including House Bill 2022 and Senate Bills 1687 and 1609. There's a brief overview of some of the bills that Mike is tracking in the packet. Does anyone have any questions for Tom or Mike? Any other questions or discussions from the commission on this? I had one question, Mike. I can't remember which number it is, but the bill that deals with the independent party mess, where does that stand and what is the outlook for it? I know that's an impossible question, but that's why you get the big bucks.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, that bill has not been heard. It's still kind of out there. There's been a lot of press conferences about it. The sponsor of the bill he's not sure whether or not he wants to have it apply to this election cycle. He may amend it or have amended on the floor to apply starting in 2028 or 2030. So,
And it's, as it's now written, it's retroactive to
Correct.
2024.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, yes, that's correct. It would be retroactive to 2024. So the issue that we're discussing about the independent party would not be in existence at that point. That name change would not work.
So is it likely to die or?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, you can never say never on bills. I mean, they may not be heard in a committee, but then come back as a striker somewhere, be brought back on the floor. So until they sine die, you never know when a bill is actually going to be dead,
Okay.
unfortunately.
And have we actively taken a position on this?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, no, we have not. We've just
Okay.
been monitoring it.
Okay.
So it's still in committee?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, yes.
Tom, did you want to say something?
It's on the Judiciary and Elections agenda for tomorrow. They have a special meeting because they're running out of time in the House of Origin for bills. So, but as Mike said, if it doesn't go there, there's still time.
Sponsor?
Senator Shope. And Mike's right about the retroactivity piece. I mean, it's also got an emergency clause. So as it's drafted, I think it would have to get a 2/3 vote. So.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mike. Does any other member of the commission have any other questions? Okay, thank you. Item 7, discussion and possible action on amendment to Rule R2-20-113 Voter Education Guide. Item 7 is discussion and possible action on an amendment to Rule R2-20-113 relating to the Commission's Voter Education Guide. This rule dovetails with the statutory provisions to implement preparation and publication of the guide. The questions before us is to publish this rule for public comment. Tom, do you want to take us through this proposed amendment?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, just really quickly, we were working on some items, and so in 2025, the legislature passed a bill that expanded the voter education guide to include county candidates. We were working on some other stuff and realized that, in fact, the rule we have on respecting the voter education guide actually uses the statute, repeats the existing statutory language. So that needs to be updated. It's superseded by the statute. So this is a formality change. I mean, I don't think a person could use the rule to say we cannot include county candidates, right? That would be, but nevertheless, the way we would do this going forward would be by cross-reference between the rule and the statute, so that we don't have the occasion where if the voter education guide were updated again, we wouldn't have to do that. So that's the change. It also adds in some additional items that we've added in over the years. Again, is that necessary? No. Under the rule language, the rule says it has a minimum of what shall be there. We've never specified, for example, the availability of a photograph, even though that's been in there since the inception of the act. So, we just thought maybe we should go ahead and add that in so everything matches up while we're amending. So, from my perspective, again, we don't anticipate anybody having a serious substantive concern or suggesting that the rule limits the statute in some way. But in the event that were to come up, we want to make sure that we don't have that problem going forward. And then secondly, as I say, we thought while we're in there, we may as well lay out precisely what we're doing currently, including the photo, as I say, which we've been doing for the entire existence of the guide. So that's why we're asking for this to be advanced for public comment. There's a whole process from here. I don't anticipate substantive comments about this, but nevertheless, we will do that if you approve.
Thank you, Tom. Does anyone have any questions for Tom on this proposed amendment? If not, do I have a motion to publish the proposed rule for public comment?
Chairman, I make a motion to approve for public comment.
Thank you, Commissioner Tidla. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second. Oh,
Seconded by Commissioner Payton. I will call the roll. Commissioner Werther,
aye.
Commissioner Crump,
Aye.
Commissioner Payton,
Aye.
Commissioner Tidla.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. The motion is approved 5-0. Item 8, discussion and possible action on the 2025 annual report. Item 8 is discussion and possible action on our 2025 annual report. You have a draft of the report in your packets. Is there any questions or discussions? Tom, did you want to say anything about this?
I don't think so. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, no, Mike coordinated putting this together, and thank you for doing it. And it features, Captain Activate, which I guarantee means it'll get opened, which I can't necessarily say that was probably true about our prior annual reports.
Yeah, I will note Captain Activate has totally hijacked the annual
Right.
report. Yeah. There's some passing mention of the members of the commission, but Captain Activate is front and center. Do I have a motion to approve the 2025 annual report for final proofing and distribution?
Chairman, I make the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Tidla. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the 2025 annual report for final proofing and distribution. I'll call the roll. Commissioner Werther,
Aye.
Commissioner Crump,
Aye.
Commissioner Payton,
Aye.
Commissioner Tidla.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion is approved 5-0. Item 9 is recognition of Ronaldo Fowler, Senior Staff Advocate with Disability Rights Arizona. Ronaldo has worked in the disability advocacy field for nearly 4 decades. He has been a voice in the state regarding racial discrimination, as well as the underserved needs of African American students in special education. Ronaldo also is co-founder of the African American Conference on Disabilities, the premier comprehensive disability conference in the United States that addresses the intersection between race and disability. And importantly for us here at Clean Elections, Ronaldo has worked with Arizona elections officials and advocates from the disability community to improve access to the electoral process for Arizonans with disabilities. Ronaldo has been a valued partner to the commission. and to voters across Arizona, and we want to recognize his contributions. Avery, I understand there's something you'd like to say too.
Gina couldn't be here today. She's not feeling well, but she did write some remarks out that I want to read on her behalf.
There we go.
Chairman, commissioners, Gina couldn't be here today because she's not feeling well, but I'm going to read some remarks on her behalf that talk about our distinguished friend, Ronaldo Fowler. And I just want to say that I am blessed to have known him, for him to, for all the things that I've learned in working with him. And it's really been a privilege to work alongside him. But here's the remarks. It has been an incredible honor to work alongside Ronaldo over the years. More than just a colleague, he has been a true champion for voters with disabilities, working tirelessly to ensure that every citizen can cast their ballot with the independence and dignity they deserve. In my experience as an election official, I've never seen a discussion or an accessibility that didn't have Ronaldo at its center. His leadership didn't just invite collaboration, it demanded it. He possessed a unique ability to bring election officials together from across the state, ensuring that accessibility was never an afterthought, but the very foundation of our election planning. Ronaldo's initiatives left a permanent mark on clean elections. Together, we launched a voter education campaign for those without permanent addresses, a project that remains a vital source on our website today because of its enduring importance. Beyond our office, his impact is felt nationwide through his founding of the African American Conference on Disabilities, now the premier event in that field. But while his resume is filled with milestones, Ronaldo's true legacy lies in his spirit. To be in his presence is to witness a rare, gentle fierceness. He can command a room without saying a single word because his integrity speaks for him. He inspires you to be better, to work harder, and to champion the cause with the same heart that he does. The state of Arizona and the disability community are profoundly better because of Ronaldo's dedicated 41 years to protecting the rights of others. Ronaldo, thank you feels insufficient. Instead, I offer you this. My word that I will continue to serve voters in a way that honors the legacy you've built. Thank you for everything, Gina. And clean elections, we also echo those sentiments, Ronaldo. Chairman, commissioners.
Thank you very much, Avery and Gina. We appreciate it. Mr. Fowler, we have a plaque we'd like to give you.
Oh, no, good experience. Take a picture? Yeah.
Right in the center. Thank you.
So much my dad. Perfect. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh.
Item 10, public comment. This is the time for consideration of comments and suggestions from the public. Action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, rescheduling it for further consideration, or responding to criticism. Please limit your comments to no more than 2 minutes. Does any member of the public wish to comment? Anyone here wish to say anything? Anyone on Zoom wish to make a comment? Ms. Knox, I see you were there. If you wish to make a comment, you're welcome to. Hearing nothing, the public may also submit comments by email at ccec@azcleanelections.gov. Item 11, adjournment. At this time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Thank you, Commissioner Werther. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Payton. It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. I'll call the roll. Commissioner Werther,
Aye.
Commissioner Crump,
Aye.
Commissioner Payton,
Aye.
Commissioner Tidla,
Aye.